Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of your OGR. As today, we're going to be taking a fucking nap because this game was an absolute snooze fest for Game 71. As we luckily beat the San Jose Sharks 2-1 in a game where I don't know what happened. Honestly, I fell asleep midway through the game because of how boring this game was. I can't even explain. This was like feeling like it was fucking. I was watching like Pee Wee hockey, for crying out loud, man. It was super boring. There's not a whole lot to talk about, so this episode's gonna be pretty quick. I would also check out my man Josh Warner. He made a funny video where he just did like a little YouTube short because I mean there wasn't anything to talk about. Like there really isn't. There's only it was 3 goals to talk about, and even then, like the whole second and third period, there was no offensive opportunities. There was nothing happening. Even if there was a shot, it was like the weakest shot ever. So before we get into all that though, I'd like to just say if you are new to the channel, make sure to smash that subscribe button and hit that like button as well, as that'll be very much appreciated, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get into this boring ass OGR and talk about what happened here in this game. So first of all, the Oilers were like half asleep through the, or not even half asleep. They were full blown sleeping throughout this entire game. We weren't trying, we weren't generating opportunities. We just played like absolute ass. Now, Leon Draisaitl was not in the lineup tonight. He got replaced by Devin Shore, who Shore went down to the third line and created one of the most ass third lines in the world between Shore, Brassard, and Cassian. They were not looking very good. But this entire night, we weren't making the passes. We couldn't break the zone. We couldn't, break it out of our own zone. We couldn't even keep a handle of the puck. Like every time we touched it, it seemed like the San Jose Sharks were all over us. And we were facing the San Jose Sharks, but it felt like we were facing a team that's better than that. Because honestly, if we were facing a team that was more awake than the fucking San Jose Sharks, it would have been an ass whooping for that other team because we were half asleep. We didn't deserve to win this game. Like the way that the San Jose Sharks, like the way that we played, there was a stretch of time during the second and third period where we didn't score or generate a single opportunity. And I think even one of my fans said we didn't even really get a shot in the third period until we scored. We only had 5 shots in the third period, only 24 throughout the entire game. We got outshot massively by the San Jose Sharks. It was a really bad, piss poor game for the Edmonton Oilers, and that's really all to talk about. Like, they were lazy, they were fucking shit, and this is not the type of game that I want to see out of a team that when we're so close to being in the playoffs right now. These are games that we must win. This is a game that we did win, of course, but the way that we played, we didn't deserve to win. And we wanted to get past the LA Kings, which now we did. And now we have a big game against them on Thursday, so maybe we're saving energy for that game. I don't know. But it wasn't a very beautiful game, and it was a quick game. I think it was only like, we did go to overtime, so that did extend it by a bit, but the stream was only like 2 hours and 30 minutes, I think it was exactly, and we had overtime. Like, it was a quick ass game compared to the other games we've been lately doing where, it seems like the games last forever. Even when I came in during like halfway through the first period, it was still 2 hours and 38 minutes with that St. Louis Blues game. Like, we've been dealing with a lot of long games here lately, and this game was just, it flew by. Like, it flew by, but it was painfully slow at the same time. But let's move into the goal scoring of this game. So the very first goal was scored by Hurdle. One that Mike Smith couldn't have gone. It was a really nice cross-crease pass over to Tomas Hurdle, and he threw it right into the back of the net for his 27th goal of the season. And that was a power play marker as well. Then nothing in the second period. And then halfway through the third period, Nuge gets a big shorthanded goal for the Edmonton Oilers. All the special teams action was all going tonight. That's the only time when anyone was able to score. Nuge got his 10th goal of the season. Really nice setup pass. Nuge tried to make a pass over to Hyman. Got intercepted though. Nurse got a handle of it when it got tipped back up to the point. He made a beautiful pass over to Hyman, and then Hyman just tic-tac-toed it over to Nuge, and then just slammed it right into the back of the net for the Edmonton Oilers to tie up the game. And then in overtime, a beautiful play by Mike Smith, who reminded us of good old Dwayne Rollison slapping the puck up, giving Connor McDavid a breakaway opportunity in overtime, and he absolutely broke James Reimer's ankles and threw it into the back of the net for his 41st goal of the season for the Edmonton Oilers. And yeah, that is basically it that we got to talk about. How long am I in this video? Holy crow. Oh man. We're almost only 5 minutes into the video and we're already done talking about the game, man. See what I mean? Like, I'm talking about this game physically, and I want to sleep. Like, I legit just want to, like, I physically just want to pass out. All right. And I just woke up from a good sleep, and I physically still want to pass out because this game was just, it was bad. Like, it wasn't a very entertaining game to say the least. It was from top to bottom boring. Like, McDavid couldn't handle the puck half the time. Let's get into the lineups because there was only one good lineup throughout the entire night, and that was Fogle, McLeod, Ryan. That without a doubt, they were the guys that were actually looking energized, were actually looking good, actually looked like they had a good night's rest. They were the only line that actually did anything of effort, and actually the only line that actually really generated some good offensive opportunities was that line. Fogle was looking really good throughout the entire night. Same with McLeod. He was dashing. He was looking speedy. But that was like the only line at all throughout the entire night that was actually looking good for the Edmonton Oilers. So a bit of a rough night for the team, to say the least. But hey, we got the dub. But moving on towards the other lines, Shore, Brassard, Cassian, I really wasn't a big fan of them. They really didn't do a whole lot out there. Like, they didn't generate a whole lot of offense. They were very meh. They couldn't pass the puck to each other. They couldn't handle it. They even got stuck in their own zone against the Sharks, which they every time, like, I say that, it physically hurts because the Sharks aren't a very good offensive team. So if you're getting stuck in your own zone against a team that sucks in the offensive zone, then you definitely need to get that line checked out. And then McDavid, Puljujärvi, Kane, they didn't have a fantastic night either. They weren't fantastic defensively, and they weren't able to generate very much offensively. Hyman, Nuge, and Yamamoto, they didn't have a bad night, but the same thing with them. They weren't able to generate a whole lot of offensive opportunities, and they weren't able to do a whole lot throughout the entire night. Barry Kulak, very good defensive pairing. They were probably one of our best defensive pairings throughout the night. Nurse and CC, I didn't think had a bad defensive night either. But I mean, when you don't deal with a whole lot of, high pace action, it's going to be kind of a relatively easy night for yourself defensively. And Mike Smith made some massive saves for the Edmonton Oilers. Like, he was really the big guy for the team. He was making all the saves that we needed him to make, and he kept us within this game. And that's a big thing. That's why Mike Smith got the first start of the game, and he played really good for us. I do give him that. He actually had a really good game, and he had a really good setup pass to Connor McDavid to get the game-winning goal, which I don't think would have been a possibility if Mike Smith didn't bat that puck all the way up into the neutral zone, giving McDavid a breakaway opportunity. And we might have not even scored a goal, right? Like, that he generated a massive opportunity for us, and we took it and we scored. And that is a big thing for us, that we were actually able to put it into the back of the net. And I thought that was a big thing for us. Otherwise, though, like, there wasn't very much too impressible. Like, the only line that I really liked was the McLeod, Fogle, Ryan line. McLeod got a decent amount of minutes since, Draisaitl's departure from the lineup. I don't know what it was. I don't know why Draisaitl left the lineup, but he did. He did not return. He got injured kind of in the Anaheim Ducks game from what it looks like. And then I think he was taking a break in the San Jose Sharks game. Hopefully he's back against the LA Kings, but if not, hopefully he'll be back against Colorado on Saturday, because that'll be a pretty big game. Tough game here for the Oilers. At least we pulled away with a dub. That's the biggest thing out of it. But man, was this ever a fucking snooze fest. I'm going to go take a nap now after talking about this video, and I'm going to end the video here, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Adios, amigos.